my name's Hazel Hayden. I'm a nurse practitioner who is also with a special interest in menopause. I run my own menopause clinic in Bristol privately, but I still work in the NHS as a nurse team manager in urgent care. So that's my background. My interest in menopause started, well, I've been doing women's health for 15 years, but my own really in-depth interest came when I realised that there was no proper support at GP surgeries for women going through the menopause, and ended up with patients would change practices to come and see me because I was the only one who would treat them in the local area. So that's where my background is now.
That's fantastic. And with all the experience that you have with women coming to see you, to get the very best out of their appointment, whether it's with you, a nurse practitioner or a GP or whatever health professional, I'm sure that there's some questions that they should focus on to make the very, very best of that appointment. What would you suggest?
My first thing would be, if you can, book in a double appointment. That's the really big thing to do. The big thing to do to prepare yourself is look at the Green's climatic scale and go through that, because as a woman often you think, oh, I'm feeling this way because something's happening in your life, and it's not always the case. It could be still menopausal. The other thing to think about is whether you've had COVID or not. If you've had COVID, that can change things because it can manifest itself as menopausal type symptoms when actually that it might not be. So it's also important to think about that. Do your research on what you want. That's another one. Look at the NICE guidelines, which are really easy to find on the internet. Just Google NICE guidelines menopause. Do a food diary before you go in. Think about what supplements and what you've tried already, because that's another big question that comes up with a lot of women I see. What else am I thinking about for you all? I'd say that be confident. It's your body. Everything should be individualized. You shouldn't be getting given anything that, well, it's a difficult one. I would say it should all be individualized, and your GP should try you on something and then arrange a follow-up within a month. It's often better to go and see a nurse practitioner because they're prescribers. If you don't get joy the first time, book an appointment with somebody else in that surgery. My big thing would be men who are male GPs around the age of 50 are pretty good if you can get in to see them, because their wives are going through the same thing. Just remember that. Young female GPs are terrible. That's what the feedback I get, and that's what I found myself. You might find one that's really good, but very few of them, because they haven't been there yet. Older male GPs will try and still give you the old horseman, the female horse urine,
The Premarin.
Yeah, Premarin, Prempac C. They'll still try and give you that. I think Prempac C is gone now completely, but they will try and give you that because there's a shortage of HRT. If anyone says there's a shortage of patches or estrogen, that's just not true. They're readily available. I make certain that I keep an eye on what stocks are doing, and they're readily available whenever you need it.
Great, that's fantastic. That's really, really helpful, Hazel. So basically it's book a double appointment, keep a track of your symptoms, and a food diary.
Yeah, a food diary, absolutely. The other thing is, don't think any symptom is not menopausal, because it might